James Cook's maps of the lands he's claimed are so accurate, they've helped Britain become the world's largest and most powerful empire. Now he's on a voyage that he says will make his previous discoveries more perfect and complete. More perfect and complete. That choice of words is really interesting. It gives us a valuable insight into his determination and his obsession. And there's something else. The Admiralty wants the great navigator to play his part in a grand experiment.
Greenwich Observatory is the centre of the world for British navigators in the 18th century. It's literally where the lines of longitude on Earth begin.
Latitude is fixed. London's at 51 degrees, and that's that. End of story. But longitude has to start somewhere, and the decision about where to start it is purely political. The world's most powerful nation gets to make that decision. In geographical terms, this telescope is the most powerful instrument in the world. Directly in line with the eyepiece, marked on the floor, is the line. This is it, 0 longitude. This brass line runs across the floor, up the wall and outside the building. It then takes a leap into the imagination and runs completely around the Earth to come back and join itself here.
The Earth is divided by many such imaginary lines of longitude. The trick in the 18th century is how to measure where you are in relation to them. The simplest way is to sail with a clock set exactly on Greenwich time. When it's midday where you are, and you can tell that from the position of the sun, you then compare that with the time on the Greenwich clock. Every hour's difference is equal to 15 degrees of longitude east or west of Greenwich. Simple enough, but it demands a clock so reliable, no one's been able to make it.
This brings us to John Harrison, the man we can comfortably describe as a genius. His passion was making clocks. John Harrison set himself the task of making a hyper-accurate mechanical clock that would work on a rocking ship in tropical heat and polar cold. He was completely self-taught, and the task he set himself was, everyone said, utterly impossible. For John Harrison, it was the beginning of a lifetime obsession. Here's his first clock. It took 4 men to lift it.
Harrison perfected his clocks over 40 years, making them smaller and more accurate.
This is Harrison's 4th clock, the greatest navigational instrument ever made. This is the clock that James Cook is carrying on board Resolution.
Cook is going to test Harrison's clock to see if it can indeed solve the problems of measuring longitude. James Cook is in his element. He's never better than he is now, utterly in control, in a way he never can be on land.